What's up, my YouTube family? It's your favorite broker and host, Wayne Chappelle, and I'm back with another video. The topic of this video today is about motivation versus inspiration, right? Or inspiration versus motivation is the topic of this video. And, I'm going to share my unique perspective. I had an opportunity to get in front of an audience today and share my unique perspective with them. I'm coming back here on YouTube today to share my unique perspective with you guys. But before I get into today's video and today's topic, let me do a little bit of housekeeping and get that out of the way for those who are new to the channel or just watching this video for the first time. So my name is Wayne Chappelle. I'm a licensed real estate broker based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a multi-state broker, meaning that I'm licensed in 4 states throughout the Southeast. That's North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. I've been in the real estate business or real estate industry for over 13 years now. I have over $250 million in real estate sales. That's over $250 million in sales volume, and I have successfully closed over 1,000 transactions throughout my real estate career thus far. And I mentioned in previous videos that, I started off as a solo agent. I created my own team. I've been on real estate teams, and I'm currently on a real estate team, which I dubbed the Dream Team. And again, this is 1992, and this is not the Olympics. But I feel my team, as of today, is the best real estate team that's ever been assembled. So with that being said, why am I here on YouTube? I'm here on YouTube to expand my reach. And, for those of you who have been watching my channel and my videos know that I am starting a transition, right? I'm taking things to the next level, so to speak, in regards to what I'm trying to do in real estate. And that being, solving the high, turnout, high turnover, I should say, the high volume of what I deem, quote unquote, real estate dropouts who are leaving the industry, in droves. So I identified that problem, and I'm not the first one to identify that. This is a widely known thing that, real estate sales has a high turnover rate, and, I'm trying to do something about that. I'm trying to address that issue. And, I'm only one person. I can only do so much, but I can expand my reach on YouTube, and that's why I'm here, hoping to create a community to provide value and also to get you guys to engage and, provide your comments and feedback below so that we can build out this channel. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into today's topic. And like I told you when I started this video, I had an opportunity once again to speak in front of an audience. And I feel truly grateful to have that opportunity. And I could tell you that's not really something that I'm used to doing, right? I'm starting to, get involved in public speaking and, open myself up to, the possibilities of public speaking. But I'm, naturally an introvert, right? I don't consider myself shy or any of that by any means. But I'm comfortable being an introvert, right? Versus an extrovert. And, being an introvert, I have to come outside of my comfort zone. Even here on YouTube, speaking to my phone, speaking to the lens, talking through my lens to you guys on the other end, I have to come out my comfort zone to do that. But even with public speaking, when you get in front of a large audience, and, my audience, usually when I go speak to people can be anywhere from, 20 people to 100 people. Really hasn't, been a lot more than that. But usually that's the range that I'm looking at, 20, 25 people up to, 75, 100 people that I'm speaking to, right? And, all eyes are on me at that moment. So, I feel blessed to have that opportunity. And one of the things that I talked about in my presentation today was about, motivation versus inspiration, or inspiration versus motivation, being that, and I'll give you a perfect example, right? In real estate and in business, a lot of professionals, right? And I'll talk about real estate because, that's what I've been doing for the past 13 years. In real estate, and this was the audience that I was speaking to as well, is a bunch of real estate professionals. But in real estate, we get motivated through external means, right? So you go, listen to, somebody who's in sales, maybe somebody like me, or somebody who's done way more than I have. You go listen to them, you go to conferences and things like that, learning how to build your business, learning how to get you motivated. And, whether this be in real estate or just going to business conferences and business speakings and conventions and things of that nature, you're seeking motivation, right? You're seeking external forces, to push you along or to get you going, right? And, that's what motivation is, right? You have plenty of people out here who are doing motivation, and by no means I am not considering myself a motivational speaker. If I was a motivational speaker, I probably could motivate people in certain ways. But in regards to motivational speaking, I consider myself more strategic, more of a business coach, more of a problem solver, of identifying problems that you have and helping you solve those problems versus, trying to get you out of the bed in the morning. I don't consider myself a motivational speaker in that regard. As far as giving you direction on what you should be doing, yes, that's me all day, right? As far as strategic business planning and what you should be doing in your real estate business. But when it comes to motivational speaking, there's a lot of people out there that do it, and a lot of people who are, very, very good at what they do. And, me personally, I go to these motivational conferences and things, whether it just be in the real estate industry or outside of the industry, business in general. Everybody's, at some time or in some form or fashion are looking at, self-improvement. How can they improve themselves? And that's where a lot of motivational speakers and motivation comes in. But do you always find, at least I know when I do, right? I go to these conferences, whether it just be real estate or in business in general, and I listen to these motivational speakers, and I'm pumped up. I mean, I'm ready to tackle the world, and I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. And then, you get all pumped up, you get all riled up. You're on like a 1-day, convention, 2-day convention, sometimes even like a whole week convention, right? And you're riled up. You get back on the plane or get back in the car or get on whatever mode of transportation got you there, and you get back into your market, and you get back home or whatever, and you're just, the motivation starts to fade away, right? It may not start right away when you get back, but eventually over time, the gas starts to leave the tank, right? You have no more fuel, no motivational fuel left. At least that's what I noticed for me. And after speaking to a lot of individuals, I know that I'm not alone. And you guys out there listening to this video, I know you guys are not alone as well. So I really paid some attention to this, right? Why is it that, I can go to these conventions, I can, listen to, audio tapes, I can read books, I can go to, hundreds of conventions, I can, listen to even stuff here on YouTube, to get me motivated, and yet they start to wear off. It's almost like Chinese food, right? You ever eat Chinese food, and no matter how much you eat, you still wind up hungry, 20 minutes later. That's what motivation is to me, and I know it is to a lot others. And the topic that this video is about the inspiration versus motivation, right? And there's a clear difference. Well, it may not be that clear, but there is a difference between motivation and inspiration, right? Motivation comes, it's externally, it's coming from outside of you, right? Something that's impacting you externally to get you motivated, right? Inspiration, that's something that's coming internally, right? That's inside of you. And what I realized, and I'm speaking from experience, just myself, but I know there's many others of you, out there. There's many of you out there that experience the same thing I have in regards to, motivation versus inspiration. But what I found out, and I'm trying to get across in this video, I know it's a little bit long-winded. We're almost like 10 minutes into it, and I'm still, like, Wayne, get to the point already. So the point is, you need to, even though motivation is good, right? And you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on motivation, going to, these conventions, reading, buying books, buying, motivational programs on how to do things, and so on and so forth. But really, what you need to focus on is how to get your inspiration, right? What's going to inspire you without that motivation? Because motivation is like a band-aid, right? Like I said, it's like eating Chinese food, and then 20 minutes later you're hungry again. So, and then you're gonna need more motivation. There's nothing wrong with motivation, and motivation, everybody needs that in their life. But you got to realize what's happening. The motivation is the fuel. It's what's getting you going. But the inspiration, that's the critical key. That's what keeps you going. That's what gets you up and helps you push through things when you don't want to push through. When life sucks, when business sucks, when you ain't making no money, that inspiration is what's gonna get your butt out the bed to go out there and make it happen, right? It's the inspiration that comes from within, right? So you have the motivation that you get externally from others, books, reading, speakers, audio tapes, whatever. But if you constantly, are craving motivation and you're not, finding yourself getting anywhere, it's because you're lacking the inspiration to do so. And you need to stop focusing so much on the motivation piece and start, meditating, deep diving into your own persona, your own self, to figure out, how come that pilot light, keeps getting blown out or is not lit at all, right? That's what I call the inspiration piece, because if your pilot light is not lit, it's kind of like the pilot light on your stove, or the pilot light on your water heater, if you have a gas water heater. I'm trying to keep this thing real estate related, so to speak. But if your pilot light is not lit, in regards to the example of the hot water heater, the water is not going to heat up. It's going to remain cold, right? And if the pilot, in the old school stoves, you used to have a pilot for the gas, and it had a little starter when you turn the knob on the stove, and it click, 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 and then the fire comes out. But if the pilot wasn't lit, you'd be click, click, clicking all day, and the fire would not spark because there's no gas there. So I'm trying to use that analogy to, relate to you guys and yourself. If you're struggling with this internally, your pilot light is out, right? Your pilot light's not lit, or either you go out to some form of motivation and they light your pilot light for you, but eventually it burns out. So you need to deep dive on that and figure out where's that inspiration, because if you have the inspiration, your pilot light stays lit. The fire may not be as high, the fire may fluctuate, right, as far as the temperature and the heat and the fire, but the pilot light stays lit, right? So the whole purpose of this video is for you guys and to help you guys and to provide the value and understanding the difference between inspiration versus motivation. And the key is the inspiration piece, your pilot light. And the question I got for you guys, is your pilot light out? Do you guys have inspiration? Put your comments and feedback below. I love to hear your feedback and take on it. Like I said, this channel is not about me. It's about you guys, and I'm engaging you guys in discussion and debate so that we can build this channel out, right? And I know there's a lot of people out there who may be wondering, hey, I go to all these motivational events, all these speakings, I got all these audio tapes, and I still can't stay motivated, and they're struggling to figure out why. So hopefully this video provided some value as to why every time you get some motivation, it soon fades away like, Chinese food. It's because you're lacking inspiration, and inspiration comes from within. So once you find your inspiration, you're able to light that pilot light and keep it lit, and use the motivation, right, to help fuel that fire. And without the pilot light being lit, you can have all the motivation in the world, but unfortunately, it's not going to get you anywhere. So you need to identify your inspiration. And for me, inspiration is leaving a legacy, right? For me, this is my personal inspiration and what gets me up, because life is short, right? We only have so much time on this earth, and eventually that time is going to come to an end. You know, hopefully it's a fortunate end, because nobody lives forever. Hopefully it's a fortunate end where, as far as I'm concerned, leaving a legacy. So that's my inspiration. It took me a while to find out exactly why my pilot light kept getting blown out. It's because I didn't really have my inspiration on what I was trying to do. But now I'm clear in what I want to do. I want to leave a legacy and, you know, be able to help as many people as I can. So that's my inspiration. Hopefully you guys are out there, you know, finding yours if you haven't found it already. And hopefully at the end of this video, if you stuck out, you know, this video with me to this long, you understand the difference between motivation and inspiration, and that you're out there seeking to find your inspiration if you haven't already. So with that being said, if you watch this video up to this point, I truly feel blessed that you're listening to me and watching me up to this point. Thanks for sticking it out. As always, have a blessed day. Go out there and make it happen. And I will see you guys on the next video.